Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our Top Achievers Zoom call. So tonight, we're going to be talking about push. And I have two guests on tonight, Mitzi and Pam, which are going to be talking a little bit about what they're doing to build their business with some great ideas that we all could use, right? So Mitzi and Pam, before I get started on the whole push week, what you guys been up to?
We've been
Go
busy.
ahead, Mitzi.
We've been busy. We actually started, we both did the same thing, but on different days. And we went and made a list of gyms in the area. I did 10 gyms and just made a list in a little notebook and tried to do them all in the same area so you're more efficient with the time, and then made goodie bags. So in the goodie bags, I actually have a picture. I don't know if you have yours, Pam, or not. So got a big baggie. I took some brochures, some papers on the AMP line because we're visiting the gyms, and then put some goodies in there. So we did 2 packs of the protein shakes. Pam has hers. A bar. I did a hydrate, an orange, a lime, and a fruits in mine. Pam, I don't know what you did in yours. You might have
Pretty
done
similar.
And then we would cold call and walk into a gym. And I tell you, it was a lot of fun. Rachel did it with me the other day and Pam today. And it's scary, but it was really, really fun. And we had some really great people that you get in front of that you would not have done normally. So it was a lot of fun. Right, Pam? You had a good time doing it?
It was, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was good.
So you take these packages and you made your list, beforehand, and you walked into the gym. Who are you looking for when you walk into the gym?
Go ahead, Pam.
Well, the gatekeeper, whoever that might be. Typically, sometimes it's the owner. So the types of gyms that we were targeting were smaller ones. It wasn't, the giant Planet, LA, Golds. There's so many small gym studios that are the owner's pretty much on hand because it's a small business. And if not, maybe they have a manager, but it's a small staff. So those are easy to get to, what we call the gatekeeper, the decision maker. Mm-hmm. So when we walk in now, I didn't have to ask for the gatekeeper because they were there. They're the ones that greeted us. And, you just walk in, you introduce yourself. We said, hey, my name's Pam. This is Rachel. Just wanted to come in and say hi. We're with Isogenics. Have you heard of it? And it's both. I don't know what you heard, Mitzi, but I heard, they kind of heard of it. And one said, yeah, I've heard good things, but I don't really know a lot about it. And then you just let them know, well, it's a nutritional cleansing line. I picked a few gyms, half a dozen gyms today to call, and I just want to give you a goodie bag. Would you try the things I put in here? You don't want to just give them a bag of stuff.
Right.
Get that commitment, because maybe they're going to be like, no, I do whatever. Don't give your stuff away. Mm-hmm. So just ask permission and give them the bag. Conversation will happen. They'll ask a few questions, especially those smaller gyms, if you can hit them. Now, there was a disadvantage to this. I went in the afternoon. The good thing is it's a downtime, because the smaller gyms, they're busy in the morning, they're busy later, but a lot of them were even closed in the middle of the day. So I ran into a lot of that. So I'll go back and hit some of those that were closed in the morning. But the good thing was, if the manager or the owner was there, they're available. There's not clients around. So the 2 that I was able to connect with, it was a great time because they had the time, and so there were questions, the natural conversation back and forth, given the product, ask them, okay, let's, what day is good to follow up? One lady said, I'm going out of town Tuesday. Okay. And then you want to, the other guy that I connected with, he was super engaged and very interested, tons of questions about the business. So you kind of let them lead to see, because his first question was, well, what do you want from me? In a good way, like, what is it you want? What are you looking for? And then you say, well, it depends. I mean, this is an opportunity for you, but it's such a great product line for your clients. So if this isn't something you're interested in, we do customer appreciation days. We can come in, we can set up a table. Happy to, help your customers get through maybe a plateau or improve their nutrition. So then their wheels start to spin, and then it's like, well, wait a minute. then they start asking a little bit more business questions.
I like that because you're showing them value, and when you show people value and how it would be valuable for them, then their ears open a lot more.
Yeah, and because you're not in there, it's not about you. It's not what you want. It's, well, these are the options. What works best for you?
Yeah.
Most gyms do the tables too. They most of them have customer appreciation days. So that was one thing we found too. If we kind of felt like there was a roadblock a little bit, and maybe they weren't interested in it themselves, we would say, well, do you have customer appreciation? Would we be able to do a table? Oh, well, yeah. So, there's definitely many options.
That's great. It is a great door opener for that. Yeah. Because then you have a larger audience when you're able to get in and do those tables.
Right. And then they can watch the interaction. Maybe they weren't as open to it when you walked in, but they see you're professional, they see you're engaging, and, people are interested. Then again, we know it takes several exposures. So you just got to kind of let them lead and see where it goes.
Did you say did you go through the pack with them, like showing them and talking to them about the products, like a little mini product presentation?
Yeah, real quick, I just kind of opened the bag and I said, are you a chocolate or a strawberry kind of person? Because I want to make sure I give them the shake that they like, or if you've got maybe a couple shake flavors in there. No peanuts if they're allergic to peanuts in the bars, things like that. And then, quickly kind of went through what was in there. Quickly mentioned our 4 solutions. And the fact that this is really for everybody. It's not just for people that are looking to build muscle, looking to lose weight. It really is such a broad product line for anybody.
That's cool. And, when you go in there, again, with that motivation of showing them value, they're way more open to it. What were the biggest objections that you got? Because we know objections happen.
Mm-hmm. There were a few. One was, it's funny because the one gym that we had gone into, of course, the guy starts right away, well, I'm a nutritionist. We're like, awesome. Then you understand that we have great products. He really snubbed his nose up a little bit. So that was a little rejection that we had from Rachel. Probably the hardest one for me was, we are an Advocare gym. What do you say? Okay, great. There's not much you can say.
Yeah.
Those were probably the 2, Rachel, right? That we had. One was Advocare, and then the guy.
The other guy just really didn't want anything to do with network marketing.
Yeah. He was
open for you to go back and talk to him more.
Yes. He said we will set up a 15-minute chat. So he was willing to do that. Right. So that means, I think people in general, and we all do it to, I use the example, if you're walking down the mall and the perfume guy, ladies goes, would you like to try some perfume? And your first instinct's to go, no. I think that it's the same thing. And if we can, like Pam was saying, just let them be in charge and then they think about it, it usually ends up. Mm-hmm. Our first instinct's to say no.
Yeah, that's very true. And I like that whole, like the perfume, because that is true. It's like we dodge those people, or the people with the small kiosks and they want to get your hands in their lotion or that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Hair. Oh, yeah. And you're like, no.
Yeah. Pam, for you, what objections did you find?
My biggest objections were the locked doors. They weren't there. Remember, some of the gyms, we only, 2 gyms I went in, 2. And I had a nice connection with both gyms. So the other ones were closed. Some of them weren't even, I think they were out of business because I'm like, wait, we passed it. Where is it? So, that was, for me today, that was it.
That's good. But I think that's, what I like about that too is that you said there were just 2, but they were good connections. Because sometimes we think like volume, of people, but that's all it takes sometimes is 2. We have a right leg and a left leg, just saying.
Right. And I think the other thing that's really important is ask them about their gym, take interest in their business, ask them questions. What kind of clientele do you have? What kind of, do you do classes? Just to kind of, so it's not just about you.
Yeah, that's a great tip too, asking them questions about their gym. That's cool. Well, what other thoughts do you guys have to share with the whole concept of this is what a great funnel system this is. What a great pipeline of people this can bring into you. Do you guys have any other like thoughts or tips or suggestions?
As far as the gym angle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've added right away. You want to friend them on Facebook. You want to get their names. I've friended the 2 women that I spoke with. I sent friend requests. Haven't heard back from either one yet, but the other guy, friend request. Well, actually, I was already friends with him on Facebook, which was interesting, but I added him to RPRR. So you want to make those connections right away, get them on the page and let them start watching.
Okay. That's good. That's good. What about
Jen, too, I think the one thing is when you walk into a building, and I think Pam might have just said this a little while ago, is first of all, when you walk into a situation like that, you have to remember it's not about you. It's about them, and it's about learning and figuring out, like we always say, what is their pain? Well, what would it benefit them? What kind of gym do they have? Who are they targeting, or who are we targeting? And I think if you walk into any situation thinking it's not about us, it's about them, that just sets you up for success, more than the failure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not about us, but I think sometimes we make it about us, and that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
And really don't get too caught up in the end results.
Right.
I mean, it's all about practice. Like this is the first week that we did this. And, the first couple of times we were nervous, scared, fumbled over our words. The more that we went in, the better that we got. And like I said, it was just day 1. And so just imagine if you do this every single week, whether you go in by yourself or whether you buddy up with somebody, you're going to get better and better and better. And we'll go ahead and we'll take the script that we used at the gyms this week, and we'll go ahead and we'll put that on our team page in a document, because we really just kind of wrote it out and it just became natural,
We
but
would read it before we would go in.
all in Mitzi's
I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we would read it, and then we'd go in and say it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
but you do get better, but practice makes perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel like this is going to be a great addition to what we already do. And just, because a lot of us just hide behind Facebook messaging and texting, and, we just don't get out belly to belly enough anymore. And can you imagine if we take some of the skills that we've learned from, maybe multiple different experiences, different companies, and we merge them and we kind of do a little of everything, what kind of business that we can have?
Oh, completely. And, confidence comes from doing. Right. So and I love it. Nikki and I, we do a booth at our local gym, and it's like, when you first get there, it's kind of like, and then before you know it, man, you're just like talking with people, and you're engaging with people, and it's fun, and you're having a good time, and you're seeing that people are responding to you. And then, before you know it, you're having to box it up, and you still kind of feel like you have a little more left in you to talk to people, and our next gym event's coming up this coming Monday, and I'm actually looking forward to it. And I've already reflected on what we did before, and I'm thinking of all the good things that we did and then some tweaking to make. So yeah, when you do these bags, I think that's a really, really good way to get into gyms. Hey, when you guys put the document with the script, how about also you lay out what you put in those bags, and just do a picture and attach that or something, or maybe make a list. And I know for everybody it'll be different. Basically, you want stuff within the AMP line and probably the weight loss line, but it's online too. It's whatever you have.
Mm-hmm. I think it depends on the kind of gym that you're targeting also. Mm-hmm. There around here, there's a lot of over 50 gyms. So if you're, it all just depends. You're not going to put a lot of the AMP stuff in if it's more of a woman's over 50. So yeah, it depends on what you're targeting.
I wonder how would you do it if you went into something like a Curves?
Are those still in business?
I don't know.
I know 2 by us are done. I don't know.
I would put in exactly what I put in my sample boxes, which are, I always like to go with the strawberry and the chocolate. I like to go with, with the gyms, we always make sure that we had a pro in there, right? Because they're really looking for more protein. And then I always put a bar in there. And then I like to take a fruit in there. And then I like to take a hydrate in there. And then I love the pass along cards, because that's a really good, inexpensive way of getting the information out. And so like Pam had a lot of pass along cards. Mitzi didn't have pass along cards, so she printed out some really good, where did you get that from, Mitzi? Was that the catalogs that you took that out of, or?
You know what? I don't remember. It was on our website somewhere, and it said shortcuts or something.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to find it and save it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
You just want it to be simple, not overwhelming, but protein's good. The protein bar is good. Those are two of the most important things, I think. And then the hydrate and the fruits. And if you have greens, so you just really need to be prepared to have,
Well, I like the simple factor too, where you said you just want to keep it simple, and even with the literature, keep it simple. Because I know when I owned a Pilates studio, how many people came in prospecting me. I could be in the middle of private training someone, and they would walk in with their bags and a big stack of literature, and I basically was like, go put it down on the front desk, because I'm training somebody right now. And 9 times out of 10, to be very honest with you, and this is just a tip from being an owner, I threw them away.
Right. So a small pass-along card is just an easy at a glance, tells you what you need to know.
Yeah, because people, I'm not taking the time to read all of that, but I like the fact that, you walked in and you looked for the gatekeeper, and that's who you talked with. Let me ask you this. When you went in, if the gatekeeper was not available, what did you do or say?
Well, that happened to me one time. Actually, we went into a gym, and the guy was, he's like, yeah, I'll take the sample. And I said, can we give it to one of the trainers? Well, I happen to be an acquaintance of one of the trainers. So I said, well, can you please give it to this one trainer? So now I'm going to follow up with her. I actually text her this morning, have not heard back, but I'm going to try to call her and follow up again tomorrow and make sure she got it. Because when did he said like in 2 days, Rachel, she was going to be back in. So I just want to let her know that I left her some samples there.
Okay.
But you know what? That's a crapshoot. You don't know if anybody's going to get it. And he's like, well, I'm not going to eat it. And he was eating a big cheeseburger and French fries. And so, that's just one of those things we don't know.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is, a tip for everyone is make sure you label everything. Put your label on everything with your name and your contact information. Don't just hand the bag over without your information on it.
Did you put your like a sticker label on even the samples?
I did not, but that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because somebody might say, you know what, I don't drink these shakes, and then give it to somebody else and detach it from all the literature.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing to remember is do not walk out the door without making an appointment. Get that validation that they are going to try the product. Like that's the first thing. If I leave you some products, will you try them? Okay. What is a good day? I would love to reconnect, get 15 minutes of your time and just, see how you liked it, talk a little bit more. Don't leave without kind of sealing that deal. Maybe they won't give you a date. I don't know if they're, that might happen, but at least verbally get that.
The commitment for a date. Yeah.
A date, awesome. But if whatever reason you couldn't get a date out of them, then at least a commitment for the follow-up.
Yeah. But I even like the fact that you asked them, if I leave this, will you try it?
That's that whole, if I will you. Can use that all day long.
Because you know what? You prefer them to be honest. If they're like, no, then like you said, you want to walk back out with that packet if you can't find maybe like Mitzi, a trainer or somebody that would accept it and be willing to try the products. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the reality also is to know that you are going to get no's.
Yes.
You are going to get no's, and to not let that, that Rachel and I would just go, all right, let's go again. And let's go again. And I'm sure, Pam, there was only 2 guys open, but that's okay. I think, Rachel, we went into 7 gyms and we gave out 5.
I think so.
Bags.
5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6 bags. So you get no's, but and then we walked away from it going, oh my gosh, even if we handed out 10 bags and you got 1 yes, those are good numbers.
So worth it.
And I think that we have to remember that. you know,
Yes.
or anybody that's going out to do that. Don't get sabotaged if you get a no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's part of life. It's part of business. It's part of any business, to be honest with you.
And you know what? If you get the no today, I'd go back in another month and try again, because it might be a yes then. Because we also have to remember it's not on our time, it's on their time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and everybody's timing is different.
You know, that is a very good tip.
Yeah.
Very good tip. I'll tell you something that's related to that. So a girl from a live that I did today commented, one of my connections commented, Isogenics is so good, or something like that. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, she's my lead. And I'm like, she's using Isogenics. So I messaged her and I'm like, you know, I had added her to RPRR. I went back through my messenger feed with her and I'm like, like seeing all the messages about her trying it and everything. And somehow she didn't make it in my follow-up book. I don't know how. So I wasn't dripping on her. And she ended up enrolling with somebody up local here. And I was like, what? But when I contacted her originally, it wasn't her time. And because she somehow missed being in my book, I wasn't following up with her. So when she was ready, she found somebody.
Right.
So
That's happened to me a few times.
Has it? Yeah. So that's a great tip about, you know what, just because they say no, go back, you know, just
not right now.
Yeah. Just keep looping around. Excellent. Well, this is fantastic. I love this idea. And this is going to be so helpful for our push week. So thank you guys for sharing that. And I am now going to go do a screen share with you guys. So, well, actually, before I get going on the screen share, so push week, you know, this is a great idea, doing these gym bags for building your business, pulling people into your pipeline, which is your lead system. And we know that we've got to keep fresh people coming in our pipeline over and over. Because if you ever feel like, I've contacted everybody, I don't know what else to do, this is what you need to be doing. You need to be getting more people in your pipeline. You need to be doing festivals, tables at gyms, tables anywhere that you can at vendor events, giving these kind of bags out. Rachel has been sending out boxes, you know, to people to give them samples. Rachel, can you just tune in for a second here and tell us a little bit about the boxes that you've been putting together? Can you just tell us the why, the what, and the who?
Yeah, and you know, I don't do it all the time because it can get expensive. But you know, we do know that anything that you're using business related is a write-off. So, you know, I typically get the priority boxes. You know, they're about this big. I'm sure some of you have seen those on Facebook. I go and I pick them up from the post office along with the priority labels so that I can fill them all out at home. I can make the boxes at home and have them all ready to go. Right? She even gave me priority tape. So what I do is I put, you know, exactly the same thing that these ladies had in their baggies. I have, you know, 1 or 2 samples of shake. Usually the person who's getting the sample is somebody that I have been following up with over and over and over and over and over again. You know, most of us give up after 3 or 4 times, but we know that it takes 7 to 12 exposures sometimes for people to say yes. And sometimes we get to a point where we just don't know what else to say. We've followed up so many times going, now what can I say? They didn't tell me no, but what do I say? And so once a month, I gather those people up. And my very last shot after at least 7 banters back and forth is, would you want to try a sample box? And so at that point, they're like, oh, yeah, sure. So now they have a sample box. I message them, you know, let me know when you received it. They let me know when they receive it. I go through it with them so I can kind of get them on the phone if possible to kind of go through how to make the shake. And, you know, so I'm having more communication than ever with the people that I send the sample boxes to. It's just a way for me to get them to either talk to me on the phone or banter back with me a little bit more, so I can hopefully get them to pull the trigger. Not everybody that gets a sample box signs up, but a lot of people that get sample boxes sign up. Finally, they sign up. And so, and then a lot of times when I do that, like once a month, and I gather up these people that I'm kind of like at my wit's end with, I will then kind of take a picture of it or do a quick live and explain what's on my table as I'm putting these boxes together, and give my viewers until midnight to send me a private message. I don't like them to comment below, because if I don't have a lot of commenters, it doesn't look good to the rest of the world. So I tell them to private message me and let me know if they'd like a sample box and what flavor that they would like. And then I get some extra stragglers, sometimes, most of the time, people that I've never started a conversation with at all. That just happen to see that live video. So now I get some extra people in there that I send sample boxes to as well. And it's really great. I mean, I really, it's just another avenue. Like I said, it's not something that you're going to do weekly. It's not something that you're going to do daily. It is going to cost money, but you know, I just feel like it's reinvesting into my business, just like putting together the sample bags for reaching out to gyms.
Yeah, I like that. And I like how you said about once a month you gather those leads. And it's, you know, I call it bridge building. It's building another layer in that bridge, building that relationship. And it's giving you another purpose to reach out and connect with them, because, you know, there's only so many times like, are you ready now? Are you ready now? Are you ready now? But when they see, would you like a free sample box? If I sent it to you, would you use it? Okay, well then all of a sudden the crickets turn into a little bit more chatter, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. That's excellent, excellent. So, you know, again, that's another great tip of what we can be doing during push week. All right. So, and we'll elaborate more. And I know that Rachel and this team of leaders that we'll get together and brainstorm on more activities of what we can do for push week. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to share with you what a push week is. So I'm going to kind of, again, go over the what, the why, and the who. And I am going to screen share. So here we go. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to preface this with, I had the whole thing completely typed out, and then I clicked something by accident and it deleted half my document. So I'm not real happy about that. So you'll see it ends right here with anything where you'll, but I'll update it and then I'll send the Evernote, because there's way more than you'll after this. Okay, so who is this for? A push week is designed for people on your team who want to promote or earn cycle bonuses, okay? So up here that got deleted, I had a little script. So basically, you just have conversation with your team, and you find out who is gonna come on board. Like, you know, you talk to new team members, like, who have not received a 5-cycle bonus yet. And you're just, you know, you reach out to them and say, hey, would you be interested in earning blank dollars with a 5-cycle bonus? And then for those of us that have already earned the 5-cycle bonus, we can't earn it again, then you look at the 1-star and the 2-star and the 3-star. But this is for all of us to come collectively and to collaborate so that 1 week that we choose, everybody has this big push and their cycles go up and promotions rise up, okay? So that's what the push week is designed to do. And again, who is it for? It's for people who want to promote or earn cycle bonuses. So push. The acronym on this one is P is for persevere, U is for understand, S is for step, and H is for harness. So let's just look at persevere. So it's a time, it's a short burst of time where everybody stays on course no matter what else happens. Because when you collect the people that are interested in earning these bonuses, because what you're doing is you're giving it one good push for the week that you picked, and everybody has to stay the course, so they have to persevere. Understanding that the averages, you know, like it's like Mitzi said, and it's like Pam said, you know, you're going to have tough days, you're going to have extraordinary days. You're going to have days where, you know, nobody's responding to you at all. You'll have days where you have appointments and nobody shows up. Understand that as a leader, you get the fact that it's part of the process. As a business owner, there are ups and there are downs. The S, step, it's stepping outside of your comfort zone and focusing on why and the combined energy, this is where all the growth happens, stepping out of your comfort zone. So we know that when we do these extraordinary things, we might feel a little uncomfortable knocking on the door of a gym, but we're doing it with a purpose. And when you know that your whole team's doing the same thing that week and the week prior, it kind of gives you a little bit more momentum, a little bit more fire underneath your step. And then harness. This is the whole purpose of Push Week. It's where you harness the energy of yourself as well as everyone on your team. And everybody is focusing on why they're doing this, whether it's the 1 star, the 5 cycle, the 2 star bonus, and everybody's doing it all together. So the momentum you're going to create is like nothing that you've ever seen before. It's like a tidal wave that's happening in that 1 week. It's where everyone does it the same week, magic happens. All right. So here are the 7 steps of a push week. First of all, you pick your week. Number 2, you rally your team and you declare it to everybody. Number 3, you set up a group team cleanse for the week after the push. Number 4 is you work your butt off. Number 5 is you set up a Facebook event, and I'll go over that in a second. Number 6 is the actual execution of Push Week, and then the celebration afterwards. All right, so let's go through pick your week. So this is something that you really plan in advance because it's way more than just that 7-day period. A push week incorporates basically a 4-week span with the final push that 1 week. And that push week is when all the orders go in that we've all done at one time. So everybody's cycle, everybody's volume goes up, okay? This is the week that all the orders go in. You pick it based on maybe a corporate event such as celebration, an ISA promotion, a new seasonal shake. When's the highest week of cycles? Like collectively, we all should be looking at, you can go to your, I think it's under team or order, and you can see your compensation history. And if you click on it, it'll give you the month, and then if you click on the little plus sign, it'll show each week what your cycles were. So you would click, the plus sign for the past several months, and you can see what your cycles are, and you'll find that there is a pattern of when you hit your highest cycles. And so what you would do is you would, for everybody this is a volunteer army, so that everybody that volunteers, we'd have a Zoom call, and we would work out when this week is. And we would collectively pick it based on these kind of factors, okay? So the other thing, pick your week, is you want everyone who's participating to move their auto ships to that week so that it ups the cycle. So that's a great strategy. All right, so number 2, rally your team and declare it to the world. So we know this. We know that synergy is electric. Everyone is moving in the same direction that 1 week. And again, it's like a tidal wave. You have everyone on board going for the same goals all at the same time. And I love that because, for me, 2 star, it could be a 5 cycle for somebody. It could be, a 3 star, 4 star, whatever it is. But imagine you doing that all on your own, how hard that would be. But if everybody is working to put all these orders in 1 week of time from a Monday to a Sunday, imagine what that would do for everyone's cycles. Okay. So, all right. So everybody's going for it at the same time. So again, here it says new people, maybe they're going for the 5 cycle bonus, team members going for 1, 2, 3, etc. star bonuses. This helping others achieve their goals is going to help you achieve your goal. So this synergy of doing it at the same time will create a momentum for everyone. All right. And I love that. I think that's just such a brilliant concept to do that all at once. Could you imagine what it's going to be like if all of our auto ships happen in the same week, and then all of these orders from all of these leads and things that we're doing, they go in the same week. So let's look a little bit about how that plays out. So you're going to set up a team cleanse, and you're going to set that up for the week after the push week. And this gives the prospects a reason to get started, and you're going to be able to coach them and help them through that. Sometimes, like in the podcast, the gal said, sometimes they do like themed team cleanses, like post-Thanksgiving team cleanse, or post-holiday, post Halloween, you can do it like based on themes. But if you end it on a Sunday, like the push week ends on a Sunday, then you want to give it that following week for everybody to get their orders, and you would start the teen cleanse that following Monday or sometime within that week, okay? So step number 4 is work your butt off. This is where, everything hits the pavement. This is where you're scheduling launch parties. You do this the week before and the week after, because remember, you want to hold those enrollments until that determined push week so that all the orders go in at the same time. You can register for any local events, festivals, get out these gym bags, sample boxes to people, festivals, health fairs, any of that kind of stuff. And again, this is happening before push week. Because, when I first was listening to the podcast, I thought like all of this was happening that one week. And then as I really listened to it the second, third time, and I'm taking notes, a push week really encompasses about 4 weeks. Like the setup, the planning, getting out these types of bags and all of that kind of stuff, follow-up appointments, 3-way phone calls, going and having coffee with people, and you're moving yourself towards getting these enrollments so that the determined week that you put the enrollments in, you've had all that pre-work done. You can't wait till the actual week to do all that and expect people to sign on, at that one week. All right, so I'm going to scroll back up here just to keep on track. So the Facebook event, I've got to go back to my notes since Evernote ate the rest of my document. So the purpose of the Facebook event page is basically you want to start it 2 weeks before the push week. And this is where you will spotlight products, put before and after pictures, and it sounds kind of like Real People, Real Results, doesn't it? But it serves a different purpose, because within that too, this event, you're going to be doing incentives where you can do drawings, and we can't do that in Real People, Real Results. So we can go on and take turns, whoever decides to participate as a leader, and spotlight a product and talk about the product, do a Facebook Live in this event page, talk about it, and then they can actually maybe do a live drawing for people that make comments, or whatever the incentives would be that we would all kind of, produce and make up together. So you would do the shout outs, post success stories. If we did a push week around a seasonal shake, you could even have people as a drawing would go in, you could post a picture of a shake with a question mark, and then anybody that commented, what do you think this shake is? It's going to be mocha, it's going to be, caramel latte or whatever. And then you draw names. So you're pulling people into participating in the events page itself. And you want to have each day lined up of who's going to do a live, and how all of that's going to be orchestrated, so it's not just the page is open and nothing's happening in that page. You want your posts lined up and all of that kind of stuff. All right, so that's number 5, setting up an events page. So number 6 is the actual execution. So you can see there's a lot of work before it. The execution is basically that week. You've done all the legwork, and you're going to maybe still be doing some follow-ups. On the week that you determine for push week, that Monday, all the orders go in that you've already collected. Obviously, that whole week too, you're still collecting orders, but Monday is when you want to put in as many orders that you got the prior week in. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going to get a big bump of cycles. So what that's going to do, again, it's going to create that energy and that momentum. And then you're going to continue that week to follow up during that execution. And within the team ourselves, we'll be doing incentives as well, so that, if say somebody was going for a 5-cycle bonus, they suggested having a command center where we have a whiteboard. And during this, we do team Zooms just to go through everything, who's doing what, and then we show that whiteboard on, Pam's going for, executive promotion, such and such is going for 5 cycles, such and such is going for 1 star. And we begin to see as the cycles come in and as promotions come in, it's all written on this board. All right, so the execution, again, the enrollments go in the first day of that push week, and you're going to set up as many three-way calls, and all the work is done before so that you're ready to go and putting the orders in. Have your team go to every single lead in their pipeline and create a notebook where you're really following up. And the big thing is, you know, you want to keep the energy high and have a lot of fun. And then the last part is to celebrate. And she said that they'll do like a Zoom party and like pop champagne and just really celebrate everybody. So the push week, again, when I first heard of it, I was like thinking it was just 1 week, but it's doing all these things that we talked about and more prior to. The push week is actually when we all put in a lot of orders at once and thrust everybody up to the promotion that they have, you know, opted in and said, I want this promotion. So what do you guys think of that?
Awesome. I just have a quick question, Jennifer. So if we're, you know, while we're setting the stage and are we talking about, let's just, for example, say we do push week the second week of August. Okay, so when are we starting to set the stage for that? Do we start that now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And are you talking about if somebody wants to place an order, because, you know, people are gonna make decisions at different times between now and let's say middle of October. Are you holding the orders?
Well, I think that's a really good question. And I was thinking the same thing. But this is where you go back. Oh, wait, did I miss a point? Wait. I did miss a point. I don't know. I really don't know what Evernote did to my note as I was typing it in. The group cleanse. Did I say this one already?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the group cleanse is what you, as you're working with people, I mean, obviously if you have orders and you want to get them in,
right.
But like you want them to know that we're doing a group cleanse as well. And so that kind of wraps around that aspect of, we're going to get your orders in time for this group cleanse for you to get products. And because that's not on there, okay. So one of the things that they said was on the group cleanse is to actually set up a group so that you can move those. And then that event, that other Facebook event, it ends, it's done, you close it out, delete it, whatever. And then everybody that is actually participating and has purchased products, you do, like we've seen, I've seen a lot of leaders in Isogenics, they do those group cleanses. And you're going to start a group for that and you coach them through it. Because then they feel like they're part of something and they're not just buying products that they're not going to know what to do with. And so that's what you're working toward during push week is this group cleanse.
Okay. So as we're going and people are they're ready, we're not waiting, we're putting their orders in. But for those that are just kind of like not pulling the trigger, that's our incentive is, come on, you got to do this group cleanse. This is going to be amazing. You want to be part of this group. So that's the push week to get those people to pull the trigger that have not yet.
Right. And also remember too, this is one of the purposes of the Facebook event page, because you can let them know too, we're putting together this page and we're going to be doing some giveaways.
Right.
So it's incentive based.
Yeah.
Yes, Mitzi.
Jen, I have a couple questions. First of all, the group cleanse, are you talking about 1 week of like a 1 or 2 day cleanse, or are you talking about like a 30-day challenge cleanse? Like what are they?
She didn't cover that. She did not cover that. I don't know if you guys listened to the podcast because you're supposed to.
I did, but I didn't catch that.
She did not cover that.
Okay.
So that's something that I think we need to investigate more on what a group cleanse is, like what they do. The notes that she, and I literally was like stopping, pausing, writing, stopping, pausing, and literally verbatim. It's just, you set up the week after the push. I guess it's just cleansing that week.
That 1 week. Okay. And then my other question was for the Facebook event, are you picking it up as like each one of us would set up our own Facebook event or is there a group?
It's a group because she said in the podcast that when they do this at least twice a year to help everybody get to their rank and help everybody to get the bonuses. She said that, they'll have like 1,500, anywhere between 500. Now, this girl, of course, was like 5, 6 star, whatever. But the Facebook event, like anywhere between 5 and 1,500 people are in the event stage. So that is not one person.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question. Anybody else questions? Nikki, you have any questions? You're so cute.
She's eating.
No, and God bless her. She's gone through a hard time. Her poor elbow is her arm. It's not just her elbow. Her arm is a hot mess.
She got her stitches out though, right? We heard she got her stitches out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, she got her stitches out. Yeah. Yeah. Are you in pain, Nikki? Nod yes or no. Yeah. Oh, that's miserable. The good news is she did get to stay home and work from home, so I was excited to see that. All right. And they said too that like on the Facebook event page, that have each day end with like a contest. So people will want to go back in and see if they won something.
Right.
Which I thought was, again, you want to do things that are going to draw and attract people.
Oh, you want to keep people engaged.
Yeah, to get them back into that page, at least for that day to see things. Yeah. Yeah, one thing that she did say too is that they, this is again for people that want it, that are ready to put the grind and the hustle, because she said that they do 4 weekly team calls.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, and again, this is just the basis. We can do it however we want to. And, Rachel and I were talking, and we'll fine tune this as we go. But the whole concept, again, of just everybody putting in a buttload of orders in 1 week, like that's crazy good stuff,
Did we pick a week yet?
No.
Not the week that we get back from conference, but that next, or from celebration, but that next week would be really, because it's going to take us that week to get the information out there about the new products and the new shake flavor. And the new shake flavor, do we know if that's going to be a permanent flavor or just a special again?
I have not heard. I don't know.
That's the only thing with that, because that's one of those things that's going to hit and you have to move.
Mm-hmm. But see, then this is the thing too, so once you pick your week, you go ahead and set up the events page. So imagine like doing lives within that events page, like as we hear the new product, so I think it would be great to go ahead and rally everybody. The first step, we got to go all the way back. The first step is you got to contact your team and see, who is interested. Like if you have like the newbies that haven't reached the 5-cycle bonus, that's what you need to approach them on. And what got deleted, I'll give you the little script. And again, I'll put it back in. I just Marco Polo Rachel, and I was like, I don't even have time to redo this. But it says here, you reach out to your team and ask who wants in. So it's permission based. Do individual calls and find out where they are and where they want to go. So you're making it about their why, right? And what they want, bonus wise and promotion wise. And then you ask them, who do you know on your team who'd want to do this with you? So you're encouraging people on your team to go and reach down into their team. Because again, more momentum. What's that one more? I don't know. What? Is somebody doing something, or is it just?
It's Rachel's just chatting.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. And then, so what you do is this is kind of basically the script that you would talk to people about. The momentum we're going to create is like nothing you've ever seen before. And when we all do it together in the same week, magical, amazing, and extraordinary things happen. Do you want in?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So are you going to post this, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got to retype it, the rest of it that got deleted, and I'll put this in our I am a top achiever.
Okay.
And then, of course, if Rachel wants me to put it in Rising Star, but I mean, we're going to be having these conversations with our team. So honestly, in my opinion, this shouldn't go in Rising Stars, because we should be contacting and using this script to reach out to our people and then teach them to do the same thing. So the number one thing is to pick the week, and you want, again, to plan it well in advance, so that all this stuff of passing out and doing tables and booths, I mean, you can't, make all that magic happen in 1 week. So she, again, recommended doing it like 3 weeks out. You do a push week.
But I do think that we should do the event around celebration.
Well, I mean, we've got like next week, and then the celebration week is number 2. I mean, 3 weeks, we could totally.
We could do more than one event too. We could do an event around celebration, and I guess what we do, so when the event happens, we'll just each individual go on our Facebook wall and invite people to the event, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Because she did say too, like, I want to re-listen to this part again, but she was like, you need to be declaring it to the world. She said, you want your Facebook friends to know that you're going to be offering incentives. Like, you want people to know that you're doing this great big push in your business. I need to get the verbiage on that, but she totally said, you want your Facebook friends to know.
But that's something then that we should be putting out there next week, to know that there's this big event that's going to happen. And we have to do that.
Yeah, and you're going to use words like prizes and incentives and giveaways.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's push week. What do you guys think?
I think it sounds great.
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
Shared momentum is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye too out of all of this. To know that, like, everybody's going to be doing, like, everybody who opts in is going to be like giving it all their all, and it is going to be like this tidal wave that's going to happen that 1 week. I mean, it's going to be great.
And I love the fact that while we call it a push week, the week that everything is really going to come together. We know that there's a couple of weeks leading up, but I've done 90-day pushes. And that gets tiring. Like, that's a long,
that's hard.
Yeah.
That's a long push, 90 days. So I love that it's a week. We can all do this for a week. And granted, again, there's a couple other weeks leading up to it, but that's so doable.
Yeah. And especially, when you build it around something like celebration, where everybody's going to have a high from just the excitement. Everybody's going to have a high because of the new products. Everybody's going to be like, ah! I mean, that's when you want to do these kind of things. So hopefully it won't feel as much like work, because we're going to be so excited about it.
And the fact that we can, people are going to be watching us. They're going to be seeing all this excitement. They're going to be seeing new products. They're going to want a part of it.
Exactly. And, so you've got to be thinking too, like, what incentives are you willing to do for your people? Because, like, whatever it is that they're going to announce, what if you did, as an incentive for participating in this Facebook event, gave them a free sample of it?
Well, and the other thing I think people need to be aware of is when we do these online events and there's drawings and one of your prospects wins, that's your obligation. That's your job is to supply that gift.
Absolutely.
You don't have magical isogenic sending them gifts.
Yes, completely. Yeah. All right. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to stop screen share. And I can't stop recording, can I? Nope.
I think she needs to.
Rachel, get your come on back, Jack. This is funny. Well, we're recording stop if we say goodbye to everybody.
I think people are just going to leave anyway if we say goodbye.
You say done, and then they can go.
So I do know this recording will be posted so you can watch it again. I will work on finishing up the document, that Evernote 8, and I'll have that posted in Top Achievers as well. So basically here, I guess your to-do is to think about this and go in your back office and find out, here's a homework assignment, go in your back office and find out what weeks on the average, it's okay. Look at, oh no, she put it down privately. Nikki's not feeling good. I could tell, baby. I could totally tell you're not feeling good. Is to go back into your back office and click on, again, it's either under team or orders. Go under compensation history. And then you click on you click on the month, and then it loads the weeks, and it'll give you your cycles. So click each month that you've ever been paid, and kind of like maybe on Top Achievers, I'll start a thread. Put in your 2 highest weeks, and what we'll try to do is kind of like figure out like what's the highest for most everybody kind of thing. And then once we agree on that week, we all have to shift our auto ship. So we got to kind of work that dynamic to make sure you stay 100 BV, like if you have to push it one way or the other. So you want to, be careful of that. And so that'll be our first kind of a little mini assignment. Sound good? Mm-hmm. Yeah? All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight for the Top Achievers phone call, and peace out. Bye.
Feel better, Nikki. Feel better.
See you later. Bye.
Oh, yeah, we have to leave. She can't stop the recording. I'm waiting for it to stop. Bye, Rachel. Leave meeting, everybody.